It is Northeastern Football League time to have a look at with Peter Meyer. And thanks for joining us, Peter.
Good on you, Wayne. How you going?
Yeah, real good. We're having a look at Northeastern and how, with the no matches last week and previously this round 11, which was very confused, that now gets shifted to the end of the season.
That's right, Wayne. It does. That gets shifted, and we just continue on with round 12, which would be not round 11 virtually, the 7th of August. Then the next game will be on the 14th, round 12 that'll be, and then round 13 would have been round 14, and then the round 11 becomes round 14.
We're going round and round in circles, as my younger daughter used to say from the back seat. But this is a very, very interesting one because it means that you've got 4 more home and away matches left if we don't have any further COVID incursions into it. We hope that not like what's happening in Victoria where they've had 3 lockdowns, that we can actually get through unscathed here in South Australia. Let's then look at it, if that's the case, means that we've got football being played, haven't had anything since July the 17th. On that occasion, BSR beat Blythe Snowtown 20 goals to 8. It was a good win from Minman over South, 8 goals to 5, and then Southern Saints 15 to 6 over North Clare, and RSMU 15 to 7 over BVH. Pretty sort of one-sided matches there in round 10. So we're hoping as we get to then round 11 this weekend, North play BSR. Now, North have got 4 opportunities to show that they are a final side. They probably have to beat BSR or at least win 3 of their final 4 games, I would think, Peter.
Yes, I think you're right, Wayne. They're just sitting outside the top 4, and they need to make sure that they can beat a couple of the top sides to really put the pressure on that 4 to get in. So this weekend at Clare, because BSR play them at Clare, home ground advantage to North Clare, they really need to win this one to give them the impetus to keep going over the next 3 after that.
Will they?
Well, they've probably struggled with injuries up until the last game, and I think with the gap, I believe they've got some of their players like Hilly and a few of them that might be back this weekend, so they've had a bit of a chance to regain a few injured players, so that'll make them pretty competitive. And being in Clare, if it's a bit damp and wet, a couple of times I've seen BSR play in the wet, not so impressive. So, I think they've got a chance this Saturday. They've got to take it a bit between the teeth and have a crack.
I'll tell you what, I reckon the Longbottoms and the Hazes and the Cousinses and the Wecketts will beat them.
Well, it'll be interesting to see, Wayne, and we'll go along with our masks on and have a look.
Take your masks, that's for sure. Southern Saints, there'll be nothing masked about their performances in recent times. They have been outstanding, and at Udunda, I reckon they'll beat South Clare. Oh,
yes, I think Southern Saints are getting their players back. They've had a bit of a run with injuries during the middle of the season, and Chris, their coach, is back playing. They picked up AJ Pryor, and those guys started the last game too. And so, they're getting their side together and getting their act together, and I think they'll be too strong for South at Udunda.
Oh, I think so, yeah. Chris Smith, good form. Pryor, Hardy up 4 kicks goals. The Lorna boys are in good form. Lee Kimpton also coming in there, and Fitzner is a good player. So should be too good. I think they'll be well served. South by Murphy, who always tries hard. And Featherson Ho will be okay. And Ballantyne, one of their better players this year. Having a look at some of the other games to be played, we've got Beauty Minman take on BBH. This one at Manura. Look, Minman won't want to drop a game at any point, but if they kept winning, they could also get a top 2.
Yes, they could, and they have been going along a bit prior to the break, and I think they're starting to get their act together a bit again too, and the passage to goal seems to be a bit more smooth than what it was before, and playing BBH, they've had a lot of new players come into that side this year because they didn't play last year, and they were able to pick up some outside players. And, they've taken a while to settle down and get together. Probably, it just hasn't helped them with the break and all those type of things. So at Manura, I think Minman will probably be too strong, and they don't want to drop a game, and they'll be just that much more aggressive and want to win.
Yeah, I reckon so. Ryan McDermott's been named, and Big Riggs there too, and the Sando boys there. Tyler Freeble, good player for them on the other side of the ledger. BBH, well, they've been relying on a couple of good players. They've brought in some good players this year, but I reckon Hutchison's been one of their best players. The boy from Elliston, and the Sibley boys have been named in their side, the Webster lad, but I think they'll find it pretty tough going at Manura. While RSMU get to Blythe Snowtown, if ever at Riverton they wanted a good win and keep their season on track, they could be the team that's susceptible to North Clare of the RSMU Hawks, surprisingly to say that, but I think a win over Blythe Snowtown would keep the boys from the Roosterland at bay.
Yeah, you think so? Home ground advantage. RSMU play well at their home ground, big ground. They use the corridor very well, and if you allow them to use the corridor, they'll cut you to pieces. So, Blythe Snowtown, they've gradually started to put it together a bit better, and they've got a few young players in there that are still learning the craft, and they've got Ryan Darling and Ottens there that, trying to help these young fellas along. So, I think they've gradually improved as the season goes on, and if they continue to improve and then put it all together a bit better next year, I think they'll be back around the mark. But I think RSMU will be too strong down at Riverton.
I think they might be in there. Big men power in Shahinga and big Tom Vader are good players. Malcolani having a good season. Connell also plays well. Van Loon is a star for them, and you won't be able to keep Zach Heyer out of any game in a navy blue Guernsey for them. So I think they'll be too good in the end for a improving Cats side with their younger players too, joining some of their veterans, the Atkinsons and so forth in that side. Well, it's going to be interesting. We'll see how it comes together. And Peter, thanks for joining us here on the Friday Night Sports Show.
No worries, Wayne, and we look forward to be able to go back to footy tomorrow and keep our distance and wear our mask, look like we're robbing a bank, and we'll see how we go for the weekend. It'll be good.
Thanks, Peter Meyer, talking North Eastern Football League.